I'm going to share the things I've learned to leave on the charity shop shelf, the mistakes I've made so you don't have to. This week's video was going to be about all the things you should look for in charity shops and thrift stores for your junk journals. But as I started going through my list, and I have made a list, I started to think about the things that I'd bought by mistake. So I thought I'd do a video on that instead. So I hope that they ring true for you. Do let me know in the comments. If you do want to sign up for my newsletter, and you get a freebie to start with, and then every few weeks I'll send out a little newsletter with some tips. And the one I've made at the moment is what to actually look for when you go thrifting that you can use in your junk journals. So if you'd like a little bit extra from me, then follow the link underneath the video. And while I'm just talking about my newsletter, please make sure that it doesn't go to your junk mail, because at the beginning it was, so you just need to put it as a safe sender. I promise I won't send anything horrible. You know me. I've got 5 of my biggest junk journal fails right here. At the time, I thought they'd be perfect for my junk journals. But was I ever wrong? Number 5, intricate dies. I love the fancy details, and I thought these would be lovely as little page edges. And, you know, I have never got these to work properly in any type of paper. And it turns out that I haven't got the patience to poke all these little holes. I want it just done. So if you've got any tips on how to use these, please drop us a comment underneath. Or, you know, if you have the same problem, because they look gorgeous and I really want to use them. I bought them, I want to use them. Stickers and craft embellishments that are not your style, but you still buy them. Why? Yes, they're very cute. And, you know, I mean, can you see me putting these in a grungy junk journal? Or these? It's just not going to happen. So remember your style when you go out thrifting. And don't be tempted by the shiny packaging and these, I've had these in my stash since I started junk journaling about 5 years ago. And obviously didn't know my style at the time. Now I do, and these are just surplus. A bargain gone wrong. I bought all of these card making toppers. I don't even make cards. So I have all of these, and I think I've probably used about 10. And I don't just mean toppers. What about postcards? I have a few of those. Envelopes. I think I've shown this stash before. So many envelopes. And I've even got a big stash of file folders. Easy to find doesn't mean you have to keep buying them. Carol, I'm talking to you. Don't buy any more. Number 2, too beautiful to cut. I've got a couple of examples, some vintage books, gorgeous covers. I can't bring myself to actually use them. I mean, they're just so lovely. I get drawn in, but I just can't bring myself to gut them and use them. I was going to make a Beatles junk journal, and I saw this book, and it has glossy pages and so much interesting stuff in it that I got my scissors and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't cut them out. So it's just, I just can't cut it. So I just keep it. It's on my shelf. I've had this for about 2 years now, and I still haven't even, the scissors have gone nowhere near it. Number 1, Shiny Nightmare notebooks. Right, I bought these. They are just blank, and I thought, oh, blank paper for my journals. Except they're very shiny. They're lovely weight, but super shiny, and they're both the same. You'd think I've tried using this. Look. And the same goes for books that have shiny pages. You can't stick anything on it. Glue, tape, it all just peels off eventually. These didn't make the top 5, but there's a few more things that I've learned to skip, which is paper pads, not my style. And even the big ones, I thought, oh. And it's not just the one. I've got quite a few 12 by 12s. A whole drawer full of 6 by 6. But I have found a way to use some of these unusable pads, and that is just to coffee dye them. And don't get me started on these storage containers. Well, what can you say? We've all done it. We've all gone out. We've seen a bargain, picked it up. And when you get it home, you end up not using it because the compartments are too small for what you want to put in there. I did think, oh, I can put lots of things in there, but they don't actually fit what I use. So sometimes less is more. You don't need these unless you already know what you're going to put in there. So try and avoid picking any more storage containers up. And the final one is paints. And probably glues you can add in this category as well. You see you see on this one is actually new, but I haven't got any second-hand ones because I don't do that anymore. But you see a brand new set that's probably still cling wrapped, and you think, oh, it's new, and it's a bargain. So you take it home, only to find out that all the paints have dried up and they're unusable. They do go off even if they are still wrapped and look like new. So just be aware that it might not be the bargain that you think it's going to be. Of course, these are just my experiences, and I've learned what I need to leave on the shelf. So in the comments, do tell me what's your funniest thing that you've bought from the charity shop for your junk journaling. We could all use a laugh. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi everyone. I was planning to make a video on what you can use. This week's video was supposed to be about what you can use, what to actually look for in junk.